What's up, y'all? It's the Boosh Bag, Miss Boosh Bag to you. Alright, so I know I have never reviewed this show before. I do not watch it consistently, but I do jump in whenever I feel like it and get a key. So I just got a DVR finally, right? So I was like, you know what? I might as well review this. So I'm starting right in the middle of a season, or probably at the end of the season. I don't even care. It's whatever. Okay. So let's get down to it. I did happen to see something like the previews for the fight between Tammy and Betty Idol with this chick. What the fuck is her name? D. Smith. But I didn't see it. So basically this episode started off with the ass end of the fight when Tammy wound up hitting Betty Idol and the fighting and all of that stuff, right? So Betty is there, they're pulling her away, and she was like, you pulled my hair, this is my real hair, it's my real hair. Do anybody care? First of all, okay, if you was in a fight with somebody and then you was beating them up and then they was like, oh my god, this is my real hair that you pull, are you going to apologize? I'm like, oh, I thought it was a weave, I only pull fake hair. Nobody fucking cares, bitch. Okay, because I like Tammy. I fucking like her, okay? So that's her real hair too, bitch. Whatever. So she leaves. And she was like talking all of this shit, like, whatever, you ain't nobody, your whole claim to fame is just you fucking a rapper. And and Tammy's like, I'm sorry about this whole shit to D. Smith. She was like, but you know, she was out of order, like really acting the fuck up. And she was like, yeah, I'm sorry too. She's like, cause I really like you and I want to work with you. She was like, I really like you too. So everything's all good. It's all sweet. Happy times. Everybody's calming down. Okay. So then, in the little background thing with the Betty Boop bitch, what is her name? Betty Idol. Why can't I remember that dumb shit? Cause it sounds dumb and it don't have nothing to do with nothing. Is it like Billy Idol? Alright, she was like, well, I didn't like what Tammy's husband had said about transsexual. It personally offended me. I want to know, first of all, why she was personally offended. Is she a transsexual? No, is she? No, for real. Please answer me, because I don't know if you could be personally offended for other people. Like if somebody says something really, really horrible about Asians. Now, I might think that is fucked up. I might even stick up for Asian people. But I can't be personally offended, because that would imply that it is personal and it was something being done to me, which would make me have to be Asian, I think, right? Because that makes sense to me. You could be personally... Well, you could be outraged. I don't know if you could use the word personal. I think the use of the word personal is what's making it, you know, all fucking crazy. But anyway, this bitch said that she was personally offended by what Waka said. And she thought that maybe Tammy was going to be able to win her over. But she didn't. She's just a flake or whatever the fuck she called her. And she was like, and she pulled my hair. And she's out in the parking lot and she's screaming like, my hair. And then she pulled my hair. Oh my god, my hair, my hair. She act like she the only person on the planet with motherfucking hair, first of fucking all. So that must be her big selling point. Like when you be like, hi, I'm Jason, I'm an attorney. She be like, I'm Betty, this is my hair. It's real. I grew it myself. Bitch, please. Okay, so Jessica Dime meets with Tiara to see, you know, what's up with her after the fight that she obviously had with Tommy. All right. Now see, these people, this little storyline, I didn't remember. I mean, I didn't remember. I ain't never seen these people, okay? I don't know their names and all of that stuff. But apparently, the fight started because Tiara and Tommy is a girl, right? They are both sleeping with some dude named Scrappy. DeLeon? Whatevs. And she was like, well, I mean, are y'all still together? Y'all still sleeping together and all of that? And she's like, yeah. And she goes on to say that she took care of him. No, they lived together. They met when they were really, really young, like teenagers, all of that. His family moved in, and his family don't like her because his family is a bunch of motherfucking criminals. And she's like, well, what kind of criminals? See, we think of like small time crime, right? But no, these motherfuckers is like murderers and armed robbers and just like serious ass felonious type crime. Okay, so he went to jail. He got locked up. She said she held him down. She had several jobs so that she could take care of his child, and she was giving him all of her damn money up in jail so that he could have stuff. And that's basically why all of this shit is really hurting her, with him fucking around with this other girl and had her son around this other girl or whatever. That's all fucked up, and he don't really even seem to care. Like, he don't respect the fact that she took care of him before, and is basically a slap in the face. So he has promised that he is going to fix this shit, and she was like, well, I want to be there when you do it. So she was saying that basically if he don't fix it, he ain't gonna be able to see his son like no more. Okay, so this dude Scrappy DeLeon, he is stressing about the whole shit, and he goes over to some restaurant to meet up with, or a bar, whatever the fuck it was, to meet up with Stevie J. First of all, why are there two people on the show named Scrappy? Is Scrappy an extremely popular name in Atlanta? Because I'm from the East Coast and I'm from New Jersey. It's just the name of a little dog on Scooby-Doo, you know, where I'm from. I do know the beginning part of the name, meaning scrap, has to do with fighting. It is a it is a common colloquialism for fighting. So I don't know if that comes off as cool and it's like, oh, I fight a lot. It's similar to being called fighty. Perhaps that's where everybody's going with that. But I think that people should probably lay off that name because it's not so cool. You know, I can deal with Scrappy number 1, but Scrappy number 2, come on now. Anyway, alright, so he goes and he talks to Stevie J about these two girls, and he's basically telling him that he want to keep both of them. He want both of them to hold him down because he think that he going to be getting locked up. So apparently he got some case with some marijuana, right? Is it really that serious about marijuana in Atlanta? No? Yeah? Okay. Because, you know, California, not as serious, right? I guess unless you're like a drug dealer and selling large portions or intent to sell, or I don't know, something along those lines. But even then, I'm not even sure, you know? But either way, sounds like he said he had some Mary Jane in the car and he got a case, and he pled a deal or whatever, and he's not sure what the fuck's gonna happen or if he's gonna have some time, but he's starting to think he's gonna have some time, and he want both of these girls around to be there for him, to support him. And Stevie J told him, right, that is the dumbest motherfucking thing in the world. Ain't nobody there to support you. These bitches wasn't born. You're not nobody's child, well, not their child any fucking way. You could go ask your criminal ass mama to help you, but he was like, no, I've been trying to juggle women my whole life. It don't work. It don't work. You need to choose a girl. And he was like, I can't choose. I can't see myself settling down. So then he's like, well, look, I done seen this motherfucker, the Stevie J, with women, tons of women my whole life. And then when I go to him for advice, his advice is I need to choose one. Yes, bitch, that should have always been the advice. Do Stevie's life appear to be together? You want that for yourself? You looked at that life and you were like, gotta have that. Idiot. Okay, so yeah, I think that pimp weird ass 1970 hair out part down the middle ridiculousness that you're wearing is really getting to you. So I don't know, apparently homie must get a lot of compliments on the hair, which is allowing him to think that it's okay for him to just wear it like that, but it is not. It is not. It is inappropriate. Nobody likes that, okay? Don't do that no more. All right? And also choose, okay? Because nobody's going to do that. Well, you're going to see, boy. You're going to see. People don't do that. People don't do that. People don't come and arrogantly assume that other people don't have a life without them, and that no matter what kind of BS you offer them, they should just be like, okay, yeah, that ain't how life works. So yeah, he's saying that he don't think that he can really choose, and he's gonna try to talk to them and finagle a way to keep both women. We're gonna see. All right, so Tammy and Waka. Okay, Tammy and Waka are in the hotel. He got lonely or whatever. They try to get us feeling like he was cheating or some shit with some showing, you know, her feet, her putting on a robe, some woman getting in the bed, and then you see it's her. But he was like, oh, I miss my wife. And then when she comes, you know, he wanted to do some old freaky deaky type shit, and she wanted to talk about this fight. And he was like, well, you should have been fighting anyway, because I didn't really do nothing wrong. I didn't say nothing. I was giving another opinion. People shouldn't be fighting over differences of opinions. She was like, well, that's what I was trying to tell her, but she was attacking me. First she was attacking you and your morals, and then she was attacking me personally as a woman, attacking my family. I don't like that. So it was really nothing I could do at that point than to punch this bitch in the face. So he biting her or some shit, and she like, you know, that shit ain't cute. He's like, I'm being romantic. That is not romantic. So they need to learn to be more romantic. Apparently, she went on to beg him to be at her event because she's going to be on the cover of Black Man magazine, Black Male magazine, Black somebody magazine, got something to do with men that's black, right? And she like, well, I always come to your shit. So he like, okay, I'm gonna come just because she talking too much, and fuck it. He gave in. Betty Idol meets with Scrappy, and you know, he's playing some music, she's dancing in the studio, and he looking at her butt, you know, all of this, all that. He like, ooh, yeah, whatever. I would like to work with her, but just on a work level. So he is saying he's looking at her ass and shit, but he ain't really gonna, you know, try no shit. And she like, I can tell he's feeling me. I mean, who wouldn't? I do not like this bitch. I do not like her, okay? Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Okay, anyway. No, she's cute though. She is cute, but she too much. You ain't that cute, bitch. Anyway, so she was like, yeah, are you flirting with me? And he like, nah, I'm cool. I just want to work with you. I want a work relationship with you. So he starts talking about Bam or what the fuck ever, and she's talking about she called Bam a horse. I think that although she did run up from behind that table very fast and with quite a lot of fury towards Tammy when Tammy hit her, I don't think she won it from Bam, because Bambi looks strong. Bambi looks strong, and I think I must have seen Bambi beat somebody up before, because I felt a little bit scared of her. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit scared. So, you might be fast with the body, with the hands, a little slick, but I think Bam got them hands for you. I don't think you want it from Bam. But she keep on calling Bam names. It ain't gonna be nothing nice. So she tells Scrappy about the fight with her and Tammy, and he's like, well, that's family. You need to chill with that. Like, that's not cool. And he told her that she was wrong, and he was like, well, basically he took Tammy's side like immediately, like, what did you do to her? Like, what did you say? Because obviously this woman's pretty rational, pretty easy going. Like, she's not, you know, no hood rat. She ain't no thug. She don't just be out bothering people and shit. So if something happened, you did something. She was like, well, I wouldn't do anything. I was just talking to her about her, asking her questions about her husband. He was like, that's it, right? That right there. That's right there. Don't do it. He was like, that's the kind of shit that get people heated. You get people mad. Like, no, you shouldn't have did that. you should have left that alone. And she just don't feel like she wrong. So she was like, isn't and her friend is Bam. He was like, oh well, she's real close friends with Bam. She was like, isn't that the one that kept on calling when you put up that snap of me and you took it down immediately? And he was like, yeah. She was like, oh, I think you still like her. He was like, nah, I'm cool, but you know, we were friends before and I still care about her. I don't want to do nothing to, you know, be all disrespectful and shit. So if she don't like it, I just didn't do it. Just took it down. Okay, so then it goes to Tammy's magazine cover party thing or whatever. And she invited D. Smith. She wants D. Smith to come and actually meet Waka so that she could see that he isn't, you know, homophobic or whatever. So she could see him in a different light than what she had heard or perceived for him to be. So she's kind of excited and really betting on old girl showing up. Chris, who is Mimi's partner, is there talking to Jessica Dime, and she's telling her, you know, she kind of got a fucking attitude that you fucked up her birthday party. And Jessica is like, or do they call her Dime? Whatever. She was like, no, I did not bring these girls, because everybody thinks she brought them. And Mimi's like, is she back up to her old trick, starting shit and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I did not invite Tiara and Tommy. They are two girls who are dating the same guy, some dude named Scrappy DeLeon. Alright, and then Mimi is like, I know that motherfucker. That's Stevie J's so-called nephew. Now, I don't know if it's not his nephew for real or not. I'm saying that there's a lot of large noseness, and if that runs in the family, then they could possibly be related. But now she know what's really up. She's like, yeah, now it all makes sense that a whole bunch of shit surrounding two women would have something to do with Stevie and his fucked up little ass family. So, Tammy is up at the top and she is giving her little speech and all of this and all of that, and she calls Waka up to the front or whatever, and he has a little thing that he say, you know, basically he is very proud of her. He thinks she is the hottest chick on the planet, and she hot shit. Like she's where it's at, basically. She's sitting down and her mother's there and his mother's there and Bam is there and some other people are fucking there, right? So mama, mother-in-law, is telling her she's real proud of her, but she really shouldn't be fighting. She's too classy for all of that bullshit. And she was like, well, I know, but she tried to explain, you know, basically how it all went down and why she had to wind up punching Miss Thing in the face. Now, as soon as Bam hears Betty Idol, she was like, you know what? That's that bitch that was with Scrappy and posting pictures. He posting snaps and Instagram shit of him and her online, and I said something and he took that shit down. I had to shut it down. So basically, she's saying that she's not really over him and they didn't break up. It hasn't been long enough. So until she has moved on or feels more comfortable, then he can't do what he want to do. He gotta listen to her. Very controlling, but okay. So yeah, she definitely remembered that bitch from Snapchat, and she was like, why is that bitch fighting my motherfucking best friend? So now Bam got attitude. And they were like, well, D. Smith didn't even show up tonight. And she was like, yeah, like she really wanted her to come so that she could let her see her husband in a different light, but she didn't show up. And they're like, do you even want to work with her anymore? And she was like, no, I don't think so. Just because, you know, it was fucked up that this happened, but also, why would you bring your friend knowing that your friend was tripping, and why wouldn't you do anything to stop it? Why wouldn't you intervene and be like, all right, that's cool? I mean, it's like they planned it, or like they was trying to gang up on her, like, you know, she thinking what I'm thinking, which is, bitch, you knew your friend was gonna act the fuck up. That's why you brought her, so you could try to act innocent and let that bitch fucking try to go crazy, whatever. Stevie J goes to visit Mimi to tell her that he is moving back to Atlanta. So essentially, he had fun out in LA and all of this, and I feel like it showed a clip from like last week where he said that he was moving back to LA, or I don't fucking know. But apparently he's moving back to Atlanta. He misses family, misses kids, and he wants to be closer, so he's moving all of this shit back to Atlanta, and they're even going to be shooting the movie in Atlanta now. So everything's moving back to the home base because he wants to be near his kids, which I think is kind of nice. Oh, okay. Enough of the niceness. So he's like, so what's been up? Because he was like, well, I need to watch my kids and I need to watch Eva's mother. And she was like, well, I did this and I did that and blah, blah, blah. And I go with somebody. And he like, wait a goddamn minute. You got a new dude? And she's like, no. It is not a dude, but it is somebody new. So she got a girlfriend and he was like, damn, you a lesbian now? She was like, no, I'm not a lesbian. He's like, well, is she pretty? She was like, well, don't call her pretty because she considers herself a man, so she'll be offended. So if you ever meet her, don't call her pretty. She said that Eva does not know that that's her girlfriend. They've been together for like a year. I'm like, a year? And he just found out. They've been messing around for over a year, but she still doesn't know if it has the potential to go anywhere. So until it's something finalized, she don't want Eva knowing nothing about nothing because she don't want to bring nobody in her life for her to get attached and, you know, the person to be gone and all of that. You know, the stuff that you're supposed to do when you're a parent. Protect your kids. She tells him that this chick is the best stuff liquor in town, okay, like ever. And he was like, well, damn, I thought my shit was good. She was like, nah, you need some tips. You can get tips. Get tips from her. So yeah, she shamed his tongue. She shamed his tongue and on TV. But anyway, bam, crazy ass shows up at Scrappy's house. His assistant, I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? I watched it. I had to watch it twice because I didn't write notes and I couldn't remember nobody's name, okay? So his assistant was there. She opened the door and bam, just kind of walked in like, excuse me. She was like, are you here for Scrappy? She's like, are you here for Scrappy? I'm surprised it wasn't a fight right then, but okay. She's just the assistant because I would be like, even being the assistant, I don't like people to reiterate questions back to me. Okay? I don't like that. That's what I don't care for. Anyway, she was rude as fuck. And she was like, what the fuck is you doing? And who is that? And he was like, could you excuse us? She was like, yeah, do that. Who is that? It's my assistant. Like, what the fuck you need an assistant for? I'm wondering why she all in his business. You at my house and she's snatching his pictures. This your new business? So she was like, you know what? I think that you are taunting me. He was like, taunt you how? First of all, I've been calling you, texting you, I mean, constantly, and you have never ever responded. And now you at my house, running through my shit. And she was like, well, you texting me, you sending me messages, and you acting all devastated. And then out of the blue, you posting pictures of you, you know, flaunting yourself with other women or whatever. She was like, so, I mean, are you really devastated that we're not together anymore? You really still bothered? Or, you running a whorehouse over here? Like, how the fuck is it a whorehouse? He was like, I got a modeling thing going on and blah. And she was like, these are the, you like to keep bitches on payroll. Is these the bitches you working for? You got working with you? Snatching the pictures. And he like, get the fuck out of here. So basically she gives him a goddamn ultimatum because they start talking about this Tammy D. Smith Betty thing, right? And yeah. She was like, you know what? You can take this ring, this promise ring, because your promise to be this and that is a lie, and I don't want it. He was like, don't do that. Take the ring, and I'm going to take my dog, because this girl is fucking with my friend, and are you still, he was like, well, I'm going to work with her. You still going to work with her? All right. No, I'm taking my dog, and I'm going. He was like, you ain't taking shit. You ain't taking the dog, so he going to pick up the dog. He can snarl on the dog, like, hey, doggy, doggy. And she was like, he don't want you. He want me. He was like, you crazy. She was like, put him on the table so see who he come to. He's like, no. But sit him on this chair right here next to me. Soon as she put the dog down, the dog jumped on the table and ran over to her. was all nuzzling in her neck. I was like, the dog played him out. He was mad as hell. He was like, yo, I've been feeding this motherfucking dog. She left the dog. She just abandoned him. And I've been taking care of him. He gonna do me like that? That shit was funny. He was hurt as hell. You alright, so she leaves and she's basically telling him, you better not work with this bitch because she had a fight with my friend, or we are never friends again. Never ever talk to me. Never expect that we could ever have anything, even a friendship, nothing ever again. Okay? So, Tammy, D. Smith are meeting up. And it starts off with Tammy saying, you know, I'm glad that you came, you know, because that other stuff, it was just so crazy and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know what, you know, Betty was thinking, but, you know, I'm not a bad person or whatever, whatever. And D. Smith is like, well, Betty is basically, she is loyal, very loyal, and she thought you were bullshitting me. And she's like, bullshitting you how? Whatever. So basically it boils down to apparently this bitch had been in relationships and people had hurt her and all of this stuff, and now her friend is very protective over her. But I'm saying that's some shit for a relationship. Wasn't nobody trying to get in no relationship with you. What the fuck do some boyfriend type shit and getting fucked over by some motherfucker you trying to fuck got anything to do with a person you don't know saying something and you not knowing exactly how to take it, or maybe not being completely clear on what it meant, or a person trying to do a business deal with you who don't have no sexual interest in you whatsoever. I don't see how that makes sense. That don't make no sense. Okay, so she basically saying, well, Waka made some statements about trans people while I was transitioning, and it really bothered me or whatever. And she was like, well, it wasn't even really about Waka. I mean, she said some stuff about him, but she was personally attacking me. Like, I got attacked, and I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I still want to work with you. And she was like, well, I mean, I wouldn't allow anybody to just attack anybody or say anything. She was like, so I wouldn't let anybody do that to you. And she was like, you wouldn't let nobody attack me even though you don't know me, you just met me? She was like, yeah, I wouldn't do that for anybody, especially not somebody that I'm trying to work with. She was like, well, we're trying to work together. And she was like, no, we're not trying to work together. You're trying to work with me. So she was like, when I saw you, you were modeling, and we're doing something with modeling. And I was trying to bring you an opportunity. And she was like, an opportunity? Work with you? Like, bitch, when I do that, when I walk down the street, I'm modeling. When I brush my teeth, you see how white they are? I'm modeling. So then on the side, she like, this bitch think that I need her. I need any opportunities for her. I'm not no motherfucking model. I did that shit to help a friend out. I'm a producer and a director. I don't know. She's something else that ain't a model. And she just is really going motherfucking buck right now. So, in that little back talk thing, she like, you know what? Her and Waka are married. They have pillow talk. They talk about things. They share things. So it's no way that he, like, they don't share, you know, feelings on the shit that he say. I'm just gonna say that's probably why your motherfucking relationships haven't been working out, because you're obviously a motherfucking moron. That don't make no sense. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm married, and the shit that my husband say is some of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. It's almost as if his brain is pretend. I don't share hardly any thoughts that he has. He thinks some of the dumbest things in the world. And he has said 8 million trillion homophobic type fucking things. Now me, I went to the School of Arts. I was a dance major and an acting major. So you can imagine the amount of freaking gay people that I know. So, and I also, when he met me, I lived in a house with transsexuals and gay people. So I have zero problems, whereas he does. So knowing somebody, fucking somebody, having pillow talk with another human being does not mean that now you have to share the same mind and the same fucking emotions. Because if I had to share emotions with my husband, we would have to break up, because I can't live like that. I can't harbor that kind of ridiculousness in my brain and my heart. So yeah, so for you to be now judging this woman based on her husband's feelings or emotions or words or ideas is nonsensical, and you're kind of going off on her for no reason. And I'm glad that she goes the fuck off on your motherfucking ass. Okay, so basically she was like, well, what's your motherfucking problem with me? She was like, well, you know what, because you said you ain't had no problem with me. She was like, oh, I didn't until now. I don't know what happened right then that made her have the attitude. Bitch, you already had the attitude. You was already acting shady and sitting to the motherfucking side all weird, or with the side eye type bullshit from the door. Anyway, so you already knew you were gonna come up in that motherfucker and show your motherfucking high cheekbone ass, okay? So she was like, well, now that I've done my due diligence, I just see that she can't do anything for me. Okay, just because you can't get to use somebody, you ain't got to mistreat nobody or be talking to nobody like that. So essentially now, Tammy knows what's up. She know that that's why your friend was acting that way, and y'all was in motherfucking cahoots, and you didn't just get mad. You been motherfucking mad, bitch, and you try to set me the fuck up. So she gets up, Tammy's leaving, and she was like, and you know what? You need to fix that wig, because it's crooked. We could get some people. She was like, yeah, or you could take that rag off your head since your hair is real. And she, your hair is so real. And she's like, it is real. Is that why you're mad at me? Are you jealous? Are you jealous? And then she did some shit where she jiggled her titties at her. Because hers are real. Alright, so, now we get to Scrappy. Scrappy number 1 and Betty Idol. He sees her, they go out there at a restaurant or some shit, and he like, look, okay, Bam came to see me about the fight that you had with Tammy. And she was like, oh my god, he's talking to me about this dog and his the horse. Like, I don't care. And he's like, well, look, I really want to work with you, but the mutual respect that I got for this girl will not allow me to be able to work with you if you do not squash this in the form of an apology. And she was like, apologize? I don't have anything to apologize for. I didn't do anything. She pulled my hair. Again with the fucking hair. Okay, if you want us to be able to get along together, then let me pull out her hair, because this is my real hair. We got it. It's your one accomplishment. It's your real hair. Okay. He's like, no. I ain't got no time for this hair for hair situation. I mean, I just need you to squash this. And she was like, I'm not gonna do it. I refuse it. I mean, you know, I work in a studio all the time, and I talk to all kinds of producers and all of this and all that, and I don't know any of their women. And me knowing your woman just means that you're not prioritizing. You're not, you know, paying attention to the right things or whatever. So no, I'm not gonna apologize. And he's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to work with you. I know you don't care, because you know she's going to be like, I don't give a fuck, I don't need you. I know you don't care. It's okay. It's cool. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to, okay. So, and she's like, you know, you're, he's like, okay, well, not going to work with you. Bye. Bye. Yeah. Okay. So now we get to Scrappy number 2, DeLeon. There is a ghetto bird outside, and I don't care. I'm going to keep on talking. Okay, so he wants the 2 girls to understand. So he's having them meet up together so that each one of the girls thinks that he's going to diss the other girl today, right? So when Tiara comes, she gets there first, and he tried to hug her. She was like, not going to hug. And she's just ready to hear him diss this other girl and tell her to get the fuck on so that she could allow him to see his child again, right? Tommy basically wants the same thing, and she was like, you know what, it's time for me to not have to be hiding and none of that shit. It's time today for him to let her know that I am the girlfriend and she is just the baby mama, and she needs to stay in her lane. Okay, so he basically tells them both, oh, well, I got a situation where I think I'm going to get locked up. And, you know, it's just, you know, not something I could choose. I can't really choose And like, what the fuck you mean you don't want to? Oh, so you brought me here and you lied and you ain't gonna break up with this other bitch? That's what both of them are thinking. Because they both wanted that same thing to happen to the other person, and now everybody got mud on their face. So Tommy is like, well, I'm the one looking stupid right here because he did not break up with this bitch like he has informed me that he was gonna motherfucking do. So she was like, he was like, well, I'm gonna need somebody, you know, people to take care of me or hold me down when I'm locked up. She was like, motherfucker, I'm not holding you down no more. After all that shit that I motherfucking did for you the last time, I will not give you a pack of motherfucking ramen noodles. Not noodle the first, okay? So this bitch, this raggedy bitch over here, if she want to help you out, if you want to stay with her, you can't choose, then she is going to be the one putting money on your books and all that shit, because it ain't going to be me. And she was like, well, he must not really care about his son as much as I thought he did, right? Okay. And then the other chick is just like mad as hell. And she was like, so you want to be with her? You love her? And he was like, I mean, what we got to talk about love for? Talk about love. Do you love her? So Tommy is like, you love me? And he was like, well, no, it ain't no love. Oh, I'm sorry. So you don't even love these people when you expect for them to put their lives on hold and hold you down, which means take care of you like you were their child, like a punk ass bitch. And you don't even really care about them. I mean, at least he lied to Stevie J and said that he loved them, but damn, to her face, he like, nah. But still, be there for me. I don't love you, girl. Be there for me. That don't make no motherfucking sense. So, after Tommy heard that she was not loved, she was flipping the fuck out. So the other girl is going off like, this bitch, this and this and this and that. And they starting to stand up. The producer, the bodyguard motherfuckers is all out and grabbing them and shit. But I'm just gonna say that motherfucking Tommy's angry face, that shit where she just like, shut. Because the girl was like, you was coming to my job and you was stalking me. Like, I ain't never stalked you, bitch. Like, she just, her face just was like, that shit, that angry side of the lip. She looked very motherfucking frightening. Now see, I'm sorry. All of these shows with all this anger and stuff be making me feel like a punk, because I find that I'm quite afraid of a great many people. Yeah, that bitch scares me. That face, I didn't want it. But the other girl didn't back down, so Tiara wasn't scared. But yeah, they was going on, they was fighting, and well, they didn't fight. They did not fight. They were at the table. I don't even think Tommy ever stood up. But the other girl was standing up, and they just grabbed both of them and split them up. And he just sitting there looking stupid and shaking his head. And that's the end of the episode, okay? So, let me give a recap, or no, a review of the recap that I just fucking did, right? Okay, so basically, there are these two girls fighting over this dude. His hair is ridiculous. He looked much better throughout the show with his hair actually in a braid or a ponytail, or do something with it rather than just wearing this pimp hair. I do not care for that. He is stupid as fuck if he thinks that anybody is going to go for the bullshit that he is putting out, and nobody is going to hold you down who you don't even give a fuck with or have a real relationship with, because that's idiotic for you to ask. And you should have chose before you said that dumb shit, because now they never gonna forget it. So now if you try to choose now, they know you didn't choose. They know the other one just left you, right? Okay, Stevie J. Stevie doing the right thing by moving back in town. I don't know. I'm waiting to see Jots, right? In the next episode. Mimi, she's with girls now. Nothing else really to say there. Okay, who else? Oh, Scrappy is getting punked by Bam so motherfucking hard. Tammy, I really like her, and I think that, you know, she's the classier one out of all of them. The two trannies, or possible trannies, D. Smith and Betty, I don't like them. I definitely don't like Betty. I think she may have influenced D. Smith, but just on her own. Betty, I don't fucking like you. You're a bitch, and you think more of yourself than you ought to. You're not all of that. I mean, you're cute, but having real hair is not you know, the most grandiose thing in the fucking world. You do not have to plaster it on a sign. You do not have to announce it to everyone. You are not the only person in the world with real hair. There are millions upon millions of people with hair, okay? Actually, almost everyone has hair, okay? And it could all be ripped out. So, although it is important that you did lose some hair, because I know that that had to hurt, and it will bother me as well, it does not really fix anything or change the fact that you're a bitch and it was your own fault and you deserved it. So, that's that. And I think that I already ran through basically everybody. Yeah. Bam ass is motherfucking crazy as fuck. And she don't give a fuck. Waka's cool. Everybody cool. So that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap or review or whatever the hell you want to call it. And until the next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Thanks for watching, y'all. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos.